Hello, MGTOW. Hello, man. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. Just starting a little early to kind of get a few things set up. Yeah, I've been trying to post some links into the chat, and yeah, they're messing up. You know, they're clipping off and stuff like that. So PayPal link, you know, that's not the right one. Hopefully, one of my moderators can go get the original one off one of the other videos and post it in here for me. I saw Bob here earlier. I modded you up, Bob, on the other premiere earlier this morning, and I hope it's working. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, and thank you for the feedback, Vicious. I appreciate that. Yeah. The link got all messed up. You know what I mean? I pasted it, and it decided to paste it its own way. Right? Pasting, going its own way. So that's what it did. It's like, gee, thanks. You know, I've noticed this really unusual thing that's happening with a lot of my postings. Like one or two letters just get messed up out of nowhere. Like maybe it's the Wi-Fi, you know, but I don't know. Man. You know, it's a little unusual. But I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm using a different microphone. Is my audio okay? Because I'm using a microphone that's got some headphones wired to it. It's a cheaper microphone. But I'm thinking about maybe trying to bring some guys in, you know, on this situation. Thank you, Vicious. I appreciate that. Yeah, but definitely, you know, click on the PayPal links, you know, get those over there because I really need some help right now. I think you guys can see that, you know, I'm real serious about posting content here, you know, and it's very MGTOW focused, and it's not the run-of-the-mill MGTOW content. You know what I mean? This is an older type of MGTOW content, a little bit more thoughtful and reflective, not so much playing, you know, just straight to the crowd and the audience, but rather bringing, you know, my ideas and my thoughts to the audience. And not everybody's going to like that. A lot of people are going to be offended. You know what I mean? Like I could just sit here and just use this, you know, the same old terms and stuff like that. But no, that's not what I'm about. Why would I waste my time doing that? You know, these are important issues, serious subjects. Audio is good. Thank you for the quick feedback, Vicious. I appreciate that. I need that. Speaking of feedback, I want feedback from you guys. I want you guys to post comments to let me know what I could do to improve the whole live stream, the posting, the video situation, you know, to make it more, I don't want to say likable and agreeable to you guys, but, you know, better, just better. And the quality of the equipment that I'm working with right now it's just horrendous. You know, I'm sitting here with a handheld Android device and a pair of, you know, really, really cheap headphones with a little microphone attached to it. And it's terrible, you know. My videos, those are older videos, incidentally, that I'm posting. You know, you can see that, you know, I put some effort into the whole editing, into the whole audio, into the whole music, background situation. I like that. I really do. I enjoy it. Like I said, we're not officially starting just yet. So, you know, bear with me. I'm going to try to bring some of you guys in to the podcast a little later. Like I'm planning on talking for a little while, you know, giving you some background on this whole, you know, why men are going MGTOW and opting out, or why men are opting out and going MGTOW. Right? Totally different subjects. No, it's the same thing. You know, I'll talk about that a little bit, and then I'll see if I can bring some of you guys in to, you know, get your take on, you know, why you decided to go MGTOW, because I think that would be very helpful and informative to a lot of the people listening, and kind of give them some insight and some of the advantages and reasons for MGTOW, you know, as opposed to just, you know, chatting and stuff like that. Now, we could bring in all kinds of subjects. It doesn't really matter, you know, but with a MGTOW focus on the whole situation. Hey, Mr. Osborne, thank you for stopping by, bro. I appreciate that. You're leaving some great comments, too. I really appreciate those. I'm going to be in a position soon where I'll be able to read comments and interact more freely with you guys, probably sometime later next week, because I've got some equipment coming thanks to all of your donations, which I appreciate. I've got an older laptop coming my way. Give me a second here. Yeah, just an older laptop, about 5, 7 years old. Uh, yeah, yeah, but I'm very careful. I'm very scrupulous with how I spend money and stuff like that. And all this money goes back into the Howard Dare channel. Yeah, okay, yeah, a little bit of it goes, maybe buy myself a pack of smokes, buy myself one of those packages of Hostess donuts or something. But I got to stay alive too. The majority of it, goes on the equipment to get the situation, back up to speed where we can, and I can effectively deliver, an important, meaningful, useful MGTOW message to the people. Because there's a lot of men out there and they're suffering and they don't have any place to turn and they're going to go down the wrong path. You know what I mean? And we don't want to see that. We'd much rather have them here in MGTOW. And you never know. You never know what they'll be able to accomplish. You never know what you guys can accomplish until you actually, try and start and work at it, And thanks for stopping by, bro. He says, I asked a girl for her phone number in public yesterday, and I got questioned by police and almost got arrested. By police and almost got arrested. Yeah, I believe that. Absolutely. Let me put that up there. I believe that within 5 years' time, it's going to be illegal to look at a woman. Like if you look at her for more than like 5 seconds, or she just says, I felt uncomfortable. I believe that they're going to charge, sexual harassment on that. Because it's all about the women's feelings. You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with reality. It's got nothing to do with what's going on. It just has to do with how she feels about something. And, this has become pervasive throughout our society. And I think that, that's one of the reasons why the men are going MGTOW. Gone are the days, where the man can, walk up to a woman and start a conversation with her and, pursue her, and she might be a little hesitant, and then he can express his confidence, and his tenacity, and it can move on from there. Gone are those days. And here's the thing, that's part of our biology, right? The men, they pursue, the women, they defer, and then they relent. It's not any form of assault. It's how the animals work in the animal kingdom too. Animals in the animal kingdom. Imagine that. What are the odds, right? It's how the other species act in the animal kingdom as well. So this is built in to a sexually dimorphic species. And every chance I get to use that phrase, sexually dimorphic, I toss it out there. Even in casual conversation, I'll put it out there. No, not really. But it's truth. This is just male biology. I've had women ask me out, and it didn't work. You know what I mean? I've had women try to be the aggressors, and it just kind of something was wrong with it. I was not comfortable with that situation. And then I've had situations where I was the aggressive one, and she was accepting, and that worked out really well. So this whole mode of behavior, it's quite natural. And they've criminalized it. They've demonized it. And that, I'm not just speaking figuratively here. They have criminalized it. But it's even deeper than that. They've made it. They've shunned it. They've made it unacceptable. So the most basic nature of male behavior aspects, biology, physiology, has been shamed and ridiculed and used as a weapon against the men. And this is why you see the men so careful, like they're walking around on eggshells all the time. This is why a man is so uncomfortable and nervous in all situations. And this is why the woman can make the TikTok videos where she just stands there and sticks her butt out and makes duck lips and knows that that's good content. That confidence, that attitude, that's not a female attitude. That would be a crazy female attitude, and it is, you know. And you can see the effects physiologically, biologically, how the women are becoming, what's the word? Well, more confident, right? And the men are becoming less confident. The men are walking around with their tails tucked between their legs, literally. Okay, they actually have no more glutes. All the muscles in the lower back, they disappear for the men because they walk around in this, nervous, sensitive, timid, careful kind of way. And this is not just something I'm making up. Okay, this is cortisol, pumping through your system, nervousness. And this is tearing down the muscles. And it's tearing down the glutes first because the glutes are the biggest muscle in the human body. So the men are getting really small in the hips and weak in the hips. And the women are getting really big and strong in the hips just because of the attitudes. And you can see it. You can see it. They will bring down Western civilization and still blame men, says John Smith. Absolutely, Mr. Smith. You got that 100% right. They're doing it already, and I'm trying to bring you guys the apocalypse, the fempocalypse, a preview up front, I'm posting the videos of me playing State of Decay Lifeline, right? Where, it was the feminists. That's what happened, right? They brought it about. They brought about, the zombie apocalypse, right? So I'm basically playing through the game and interpreting it relative to how the feminists brought us to this stage, and they have. Yeah, like I don't need to harp on it. I really don't. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. So, a lot of guys are talking about, it's all going to go crashing down, da 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 da. So it's like, all right, fine, here you go, man. Here's the video of it, right? Excuse me. If I had some better tools, and I will have them next week, I would be able to, bring in videos and bring in images and things like that that represent this. And it would be like, damn, this does look like World War III, the whole Russia-Ukraine situation. This does look like the apocalypse. And I'll put some nice music with it, too. It'll be like, wow, man, this is really horrible, but it's kind of cool, too. That's what I go for. I really do. I go for, like, here's this prophetic, horrible image, but in this flashy, somewhat stylish package, So it's like, is this entertainment or is this like prophetic? I love movies, right? We'll get into this a little more deeply. I love movies, not that much. I don't spend that much time doing, any sort of non-productive hobby, but I appreciate them. And the thing is like, you can sit down to watch a movie and you think, okay, I'm here to be entertained, right? I'm just here to be diverted, kind of clear my mind and stuff like that. And certain movies, you start getting into them, and you realize, holy shit, this movie can mess me up psychologically. You know what I mean? Like they've got a pathway right into my brain, and they can insert things and ideas and images and sounds, and it can affect me profoundly, like for weeks or for like the rest of my life. I'll never be the same having watched this movie. So that's the power. That's the power of video, even right here on YouTube. And it's subtle. We don't even realize it. So it's a shame to waste it. It's a shame to not be aware of that and to put it to, our use. Hey, Chris Mitchell is here. Hey, has Bob out there gotten a wrench? Because I modded him up a little earlier. Caber Spence, I probably got that all wrong, says, it's also in our food. Men and women need testosterone. It actually makes... Well, now it's gone off the screen. Calmer. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Testosterone is the greatest thing in the world, man. You look at all the bridges, you look at all the skyscrapers, you look at all the, great buildings and castles and stuff like that. You want to know what created that? Testosterone. That's right. You look at the great systems and procedures that we have in place. That's testosterone. When they talk about roid rage and stuff like that, that's not testosterone. That's testosterone amortizing into estrogen. That's estrogen. Okay? Strong man doesn't feel that way. Is he aggressive and hostile? He's actually quite compassionate and, caretaking and things like that. a leader. Maximize your testosterone, men. And there's so many things in our society that just tear it and rip it down. And, even just the attitude, the pervasive attitude, that moves throughout our culture, that the men are toxic and dangerous, and that the women are, just these beautiful angelic creatures that need protection all the time. It's actually hurting the testosterone of men and increasing the testosterone of women. And that's why they're able to dance on a TikTok video with duck lips. And that's why the men are like, I don't want to get caught looking at this. I'm afraid. And, that attitude, boom, it kills the testosterone. This increases the cortisol, the nervousness. This tears down the muscles. So the hips of the men, the butts of the men are disappearing because it's ripping down those muscles first, because those are the biggest muscles. And it's building them up on the women. That's why they're getting bigger and bigger back there. Okay? Does that make sense? You don't believe me, do you? It's true. It's so true. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's put that up there because you capitalize need testosterone, and I've got to agree with that. Canada is already under dictatorship. Yeah, it seems like Trudeau is acting like a real, dare I say, bitch. A real, offended, emotional female. This whole situation. He should have backed off. He should have said, yeah, maybe, we went a little too far. People have the right not to, get a vaccination if they don't want it. There's a limit, to how far we can go as far as people's, personal freedom goes. We'll, re-examine this situation. We'll still stay on it. But, my bad. That would, how respectable would that have been? You know what I mean? Right? You could have looked at that and said, okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Thank you. Right? But no, whatever I say is the right thing to do, and everybody has to do it or else everyone's going to pay a horrible price. I can't back down. I can back down. I get into confrontations right here in MGTOW. And, at first I'm very aggressive, and it's like, how dare you? This is the Howard Dare channel. But then I'm like, all right, it's cool, man. I understand. And hopefully, we can bring the situation down from like a 9 or an 8, down to a 6 or a 5. But it doesn't work. And I'll tell you that's estrogen. That's not testosterone. Testosterone makes a man confident. It's the estrogen that makes him emotional. Yeah, I was dealing with this guy, and he was like in charge, his middle management. So here's the thing. I respect someone's position. I understand people have a job to do. And, I treat them, decently in that situation. But I could tell that this guy was overstepping his bounds. You know what I mean? He was using the job to act like a big shot, to belittle and to joke around, which, whether you realize it or not, makes his testosterone go up and makes my testosterone go down. But I'm like, yeah, okay, boss. Yeah, you're in charge. Because, I respect the fact that people have a job to do. But, the situation came to a head, and like I needed to pick up some mail from, that location where he was in charge. Because I left that location because they kind of sucked. And he was like, no, you can't, you're forbidden, you're restricted from coming onto the property. I was like, but that's my mail, I've got some important legal and shit like that going there, right? So I hadn't changed my address, before I left. He was like, nope, we're going to send it back to the post office. And I don't think I think he'll just throw it in the trash. But he took everything very personally, you know. So he took his job, which was kind of like a sacred responsibility, and he used it to build himself up on a personal level. And then when things didn't work out his way, he like got all butthurt and, you know, vindictive and mean and emotional. And I was like, man, that's really unbecoming of a man, of anybody, you know. Be gracious, you know, humble in victory, gracious in defeat. And if you've got enough testosterone, this applies to women too, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? It's not a problem at all. Now, I suppose too much of it, yeah, sure, that would be a problem. And likewise, too much estrogen would be a problem. And, you know, that's exactly what we're seeing. James is here. Thanks for stopping by, James. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Bob, are you wrenched up out there, Bob? Because I can't see it. You know, I'm here in StreamYard, right? The free version, donate to the Howard Dare channel. So I can't see if you're wrenched up or not. Like, I know that Chris, I wrenched him up a while back, and he should still be wrenched. So, you know, if I haven't, we'll definitely get that taken care of. Let's put that up there too. Bob is wrenched now. See, thank you. I need the feedback, okay? I'm sitting here and I'm blind. I can't go to like a different tab. I can't go into the YouTube tab and check out what's going on there. No, I can only stay on this one StreamYard tab because it's a little handheld Android device. Can you guys imagine what I'll be able to do with real equipment? Man, you know, the problem with editing, okay, is that it does take a long time, you know, like 10 minutes of video, that's all day. That's 8 hours. Now, you get better at it as you go along. You get faster. You get your tricks and your tips. You learn how to, you know, do kind of neat little things really quickly. But again, that takes time too. You know, luckily, you know, I've got those things, but I'll still have to, you know, restart up that whole cycle to where eventually it's like, damn, how, you know, he's just done these 5 incredible, you know, editing situations like it was nothing. And yeah, that's exactly what it becomes. It becomes like nothing, but it takes time to get to that stage. Yeah, so I've got a laptop on the way, and I'm just chatting because I want some people to show up here. And, you know, I posted the link to the chat, you know, to the stream at the beginning. So yeah, I'm hoping I can bring some of you guys in here. That's why I'm on this other microphone, because the microphone, my upgraded microphone, when I plug it in, it takes up both the microphone and the headphone plug, and I can't even use Bluetooth earbuds with that microphone. It just says, you know, no, that's it. Right? So there's just so many limitations with this single device, and I'll be getting out of that. Thank you, One Fast Stack. Hey, everybody, One Fast Stack got out of YouTube jail, right? Which it's kind of like real jail, but it's kind of not. But it's bad, man. When you can't post, like when you're posting every day, multiple videos, doing live streams, and suddenly you can't do it, oh man, it's horrible. It's horrible, you know. So show him some love. Go over to his channel. Check out those live streams. You know, like them, share them. Sharing is bigger than you guys think, okay? You think like, oh, you know, I've only got a few friends and I'm going to, you know, so what's the point? And da-da-da-da-da. You can't appreciate how much the algorithm looks at the fact that something got shared out to another platform and is potentially bringing people from another platform onto their platform. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? That carries a lot of weight. That's, you know, SEO. That carries a lot of credibility, a lot of authority with it, you know, because that's what they're trying to do. So please share the videos, man. Share them shamelessly. And you know what else? Share them in feminist forums. Please do. Bring the feminists to Howard Dare. Okay? If Howard Dare can't go to the feminists, bring the feminists to Howard Dare. I'll deal with them, right? I'll bring them on. I'll talk to them. I don't care. shit, that would be great. Because I'm not all about just hating on people and, running roughshod on people. No, I want to have a conversation with people, and then I want to make my points. I was looking for my video, The Art of Conversation. I couldn't find it. What I found was The Art of War. That's why I posted that Art of War video. The Sun Tzu. It tells the opening story from The Art of War. That's why I posted it, because I was looking for The Art of Conversation so that you guys would have some better insights as to like how to, chat on MGTOW live streams, right? And I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that, hey, it's a skill. It's an art form, right? It's a big deal. Yeah, what is going on in Canada? What is going on? And look at what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia. You got to know that they're playing us, man. You know what I mean? They're sucking us in. The idea that Russia ever gave up the Ukraine was insane. Right? Like if any of you have played any sort of like, World War simulation games, and I'm sure a lot of you have, you'd know that Ukraine was their access, to the Indian Ocean, that's where, their submarines, their nuclear submarines and everything had to be. Yeah, you can have some of them up there, up north, but no, that's not good enough. You need that other base. And to give that up is just like, no, you just can't do it. You would never, ever do it. So, they're playing the situation. And man, do I love that footage too. The tanks rolling around, the missile launchers going off. Man, that's the stuff that I like to work with from an editing point of view. And I will be able to coming up next week, thanks to your donations, thanks to your support. So that's serious, what's going on there. Now, why men, let's actually, I can stop bullshitting. This is Opting Out, Why Men Are Going MGTOW podcast. I can tell you about myself, all right? I had 4 older sisters, okay? One of them was crazy. Another one of them was a little depressed and emotional. Another one of them was almost my twin. She was older than me, but we were almost identical, except I wasn't pretty. She was smarter than I was. She was more talented than I was. She certainly was able to get along with people better and understand emotions better than I was. This was really obvious. I looked up to her quite a lot. And then I had a 4th sister. And this sister, she was actually like the 2nd. She despised me. She hated me. And she hated me even as a baby, okay? When I was 2-3 years old, they were much older than me. 3 of them were much older than me. The one that was like my twin was much closer in age to me, a few years older. But these other ones were, like 16 years older than me, 15, 16 years older than me. So I was a baby when they were teenage girls. And something happened. I got hurt as a child in the crib pretty severely. Like I almost died. And then my father moved from back east to California, and he left the 3 older sisters back there. They actually, hurt me pretty bad when I was a baby in the crib, and I even knew it as a baby, but I didn't hold on to any sort of hatefulness or resentment. But what a thing, you know what I mean? This is how deep it can go. The resentment of the male, even as a baby, the baby apes, the monkeys. When a higher ranking female has a child, the other females want to come over and take a look at it. And I, of course, learned this from TFM, because he is the expert on, all things simian. They want to check out the new baby, and they resent it. They know that baby kind of moves that female closer to the alpha, that is the father. So when they want to come over and look at that baby and interact with that baby, you know what they'll do sometimes? They'll break its arm. They'll hurt it. So yeah, so there I was, just a baby in the crib. And yeah, I got hurt pretty bad. Bad enough for my father to move all the way across the country and say to the older girls, nope, you're 18 now. You can take care of yourselves. Because he kind of knew that they weren't going to let me live. Just built-in resentment. And it wasn't all of them. It was just the one of them that was really nasty about it. But the other ones went along. So, that's pretty much how I started out. But it didn't affect me at all. Well, it did, but, I wasn't consciously aware of it or anything like that. And my mother was a raging alcoholic. So for the first 3 years of my life, she had like a car accident and she was like in the hospital. And it's probably a good thing. So I never really bonded, with her. And again, I was not aware of any of this, consciously as a child. I wasn't bemoaning the fact or anything like that. And yeah, she was an alcoholic throughout, my entire childhood and well into my adulthood. But of course, I forgave her and I loved her because she was my mother, right? That's right, guys. That's how we feel towards the women, towards the mothers. There's the rhesus monkey experiment. Again, I learned it from TFM because he is the expert on all things simian. Damn. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'll buy some beers, hamster. Let's see who's here. We got 31 people here. I appreciate that, you guys. I really do. I will get my free beers somehow, says James. Free beer is good. Free is good, but nothing is really for free. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come back to that point I was making about the monkeys. I'm sure it'll come back to me. I'm just kind of looking at the comments right now. Vicious says, I am MGTOW because the laws and the drop in IQ of women. I don't know. I don't know if their IQ dropped. I mean, that's an interesting question right there. I wonder if we could test that, and I'm sure we have. And I wonder if their IQs have dropped or if their IQs have gone up and men's IQs have gone down. Oh, yeah. We love the women. Men love the women. They love their mothers. The rhesus monkey experiment. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with this one. They take the baby monkey and they put him in a cage, and they put a metal mother with a blanket and a bottle in the cage next to him, and they open up the pathway between the two. And the baby monkey goes over to the metal mother, cuddles with the blanket, and drinks the bottle. And, that's it. He likes it. But then they take away the blanket. And of course, the baby monkey still goes, actually, no, they take away the bottle first. They take away the bottle. So there's no food over there. But the baby monkey still goes over to the mother cage and cuddles with the blanket and the metal mother. And then they take away the blanket. And the baby monkey still goes over there and cuddles with the metal mother. And then they put an electrical shock onto the metal mother so that whenever the baby cuddles with it, it gets shocked electrically. And guess what, men? Guess what, MGTOW? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The baby monkey still goes over to the other cage and cuddles with the metal mother where there's no bottle, where there's no blanket, and it's electrocuting him. Because that's the bond. We bond. And the system takes advantage of that. It takes terrible advantage of that. And it's not just to the females that we bond. It's like we'll bond to almost anything. We'll bond to bad behavior. This is why people don't leave bad relationships. Okay, yeah, so moving on. So as a young kid, I knew something was wrong, because I would like interact with people sometimes and they would try to use force and fear and intimidation on me. They'd be like, you need to do this or else. And I'd be like, or else what? Well, because I kind of sensed that they were threatening me, or else what? And if they came back and they said, look, this is the right thing to do, this is what you need to do because this is how we're going to, teach you and you're going to learn, you're going to grow strong and everything like that, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. You're right. But that's not what they said. Okay, almost some of them said that, and I was cool with that. But most of them said, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to harm you. And even at 6, 7 years old, I knew that that was a morally and ethically indefensible position. That was the move of a tyrant, of a brute, of somebody who I could not follow, that I could not respect. And I would bring them to that stage, even at 7 and 8 years old. I would be like, okay, I have to do that. Why? And I really was, I wanted to know why I needed to do that. But I also kind of could sense that with some people, it was because if you don't, I'll hurt you. And I spoke about this in one of my long talk videos, okay? This is a metaphysical outlook on the world. The idea of we get our way through force, okay? That's it. That you go along or else you're going to get hurt. And it's not just physical hurt. It can be emotional hurt. It can be, a group relationship hurt. It can be things like that. But it's the move of somebody who's more of an animal and not really all that human. Because like I said, if they'd have said to me, here's the reasons why, Howard, you need to, we're trying to teach you and you're getting in the way of other kids learning. And this is what's good for you. And this is what your parents want. And this is what's best for you in the future. And this is my job. This is how we lead the young. I would have and I did say, okay, I get it. You're right. My bad. And I respect that. And I respect that person. But when the person said, and if you don't do what I say, I'll hurt you, I knew that that person did not deserve any of my respect. So I was able to sense that at a very early age, and I'm sure all of you can too. Most of you can do that too, and you have. And yes, there is a fundamental metaphysical, ethical reason as to why we reject that, and I've spoken about that in my long talk videos. Okay, as I said, it has to do with the human mind reverting to this idea of physical force, of animal force, right? The other side of that is, the whole spiritual thing. Like, and if you don't do what I say, you're going to burn in hell for all eternity. Okay, that's a cop out too. That is the beast that slouches towards Bethlehem. Okay. There's another approach though, and that's the logical and the reasonable human mind approach. And this is why you have Western civilization, because we were able to use it. So when that's employed, this is the great rational mind of man, the most advanced, species here on the planet, possibly in the whole universe. That's an amazing thing. That's an amazing tool. That's, your computer. But unfortunately, we've pretty much been all infected with some horrible viruses. And that's, this biological conditioning. They're using our biology to, condition us against our own interests when, we set the system up to be motivated self-interest. This is the engine that drives the behavior. This is the engine that drives progress. And I think we pretty much know that on some basic, profound level, but we don't always have the words and ideas and concepts to express it. So there I was, with these ideas, with these questions. As I got older, I increased my skills and I got pretty good at a few things. And yet I would still get in trouble and I still didn't get ahead. And it didn't make sense to me, why was it happening like that? And there were no easy answers. So these questions just kept repeating in my mind. This is well into my adulthood. You're getting fired from jobs when I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, I could tell you a story. I had a job, and I just started out, first day on the job. And as I pulled in to the parking lot, a car just comes ripping into the parking lot like it had been parked across the street at a park, parked at the park. And it jumped across the street and came ripping into the parking lot. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And it was a young girl, the receptionist. And before I'm able to walk into the office, she's out of her car and she's, running over to greet me. And as she does, she big dog, she trips, it's like, oh, how clumsy of me. And she slams her boobs into me, right? So I've got to catch her. And she's chatting me up and stuff like that. And I wasn't really interested to be honest with you, this was shortly after my twin sister passed away, right? The one that was better and smarter than me. Yeah, all of those gifts destroyed her. You know what I mean? All of that free ride, that the women get, it destroyed her. Let me see if I can move my location a little bit. Yeah, so the girl just bumps into me and pushes her boobs on me, and then starts chatting me up, and I'm like, yeah, that's great. I got a job, and so sorry, man, I got some other stuff going on here. This kind of behavior, it just continues, right? At the office all the time. Like I'm going out to lunch, and she's like, I come back from lunch. She's like, well, what did you get me? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get you anything. I would have got you a Coke or something, but, I didn't want to carry it. And eventually, she's like talking to me about her boyfriend and her evenings and stuff like that. And finally, I just walk away. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, man. And I walk away. And a little bit after that, I get called into the office, from a manager, some middle manager. And, he's like, I hear you were, rude to so-and-so. I was like, no, not at all. She was just kind of, acting a little foolish with me. And I walked away, and he's like, well, I'm going to mark that down as, inappropriate behavior. And if you do it again, you're going to get fired. And I said, but, and this guy was just some fat blue pill simp, just trying to gain the favor of the girl. And at first I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I walked off. And then I was like, wait a minute. I just got a mark on my work record for inappropriate behavior. And if I do it again, I'm going to get fired. And I didn't do anything. So I thought about that. And, then I turned around. This took me about 10 or 15 minutes. And I walked into his office and I said, I quit. I can't work here. This is bullshit. I'm not going to work in a place like this. Now when the owner of the business who had hired me found out about this, he was very upset, because I was a promising worker. Well, I had some skills. I had skills, right? But, it was too late for that, So, the owner is being driven by profit, by being productive, by, integrity. Whereas if the middle manager is being driven by, appearance, status, appealing to the women, right? So you can see how this, this whole MGTOW mindset is just seeping into me stronger and stronger. And there were many other incidents that I could tell you about, but I don't need to go into all that. And eventually I'm hanging out, on YouTube watching videos, and I come across some Barbarossa videos, and I'm like, what do you mean the world's designed against me? What do you mean they're cheating me? And I was listening at first. I was like, that's bullshit. The women are perfect. It's me. The problem's with me. But eventually, just like most red pill situations, I was like, wait a minute, he's right. This makes sense. This adds up. I started watching more and more of it, and I found other content producers. Stardust was around at that time. Thinking Ape, rather. And I was listening, to them. And around this time, after a little while of doing that, guess who comes onto the MGTOW scene? Sandman. And, hey, man, there's good stuff. You know what I mean? Little different, anecdotal stories of the people, but no, good stuff. Well done, and really consistent and regular. So, I was watching that stuff, and Spetsnaz, was around too at this time. Really, deep, insightful stuff, from, the institutional, from prisons, like I think he was like a counselor of prisons, prisons for the men. So, really dealing with the hard issues for men. Great stuff, so I'm consuming all that content. And even the honey badgers, right? And Paul Elam. And that content as well, that spoke to me as well. So I was consuming that, but Barbarossa was the one that I really liked. And then all of a sudden, he stopped doing videos. And at first I was like, no big deal. He's taking a few days off. He's got something going on. And this went on for, a couple weeks. I was like, damn, I really miss those videos. And then this went on for, 3 or 4 weeks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some videos. I'm going to make a video because my background was pretty much, set up to do it. I mean, not exactly, but, all the steps involved in it, I kind of had a handle on it already. I was familiar with it already. So yeah, I started making videos. And, just like anybody, they weren't so good. I was working through a lot of problems. I still am. But, eventually, I learned to really like it and develop my own voice and stuff like that. And yeah, TFM was around at that time as well. And, I started getting subscribers and views and finding my own voice. And I really appreciated that. And then I got it into my head that since I wasn't, since it's a struggle, okay, it's hard. You guys know that. YouTube is not easy. So then I started up some trouble with Sandman and TFM, and that was a mistake, okay? Yeah, that was not a good idea. Don't mess with bigger channels. And, they were totally cool about everything, but, they weren't going to take any shit from me. So I got stepped on a little bit there, but, I kind of learned my lesson. I am my own person, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is. I don't think anybody should be agreeing 100% with anybody. You know what I mean? And that would be pretty weird if you were listening to somebody's content and just being like, yeah, man, that's 100% right. I don't know. I mean, you've got your own unique experiences and, stories and interpretations and analysis of the situation that you can bring to bear on the situation. And no, it's not going to agree with everybody. So that's pretty much what brought me to MGTOW. I just wanted to cover that with you guys. Now, YouTube shadow banned my channel back in the day, like others, says Vicious. Yeah, they sure did. Got to support Zygus Eater and MGTOW Mirror Project. Yeah, please, Jim. You're 100% right on that, my friend. Without him, I wouldn't have even had access to my old content, which, has really made a big difference to me because I'm not in a position to generate good content at this time. So let's see if we can get some of you guys in here. I hope that wasn't too bad, sitting through that story of mine. Wait a minute, let me get some of these comments up here. I put the link to this stream at the beginning of the chat section. Let's see if I can put it in here again. Let's see if we can get anybody to come in here. Now, it's a little tricky for me. I haven't done this before, and I'm on the free version of StreamYard, so I can't even get photos up here. Let me see if I can put the link in the chat again. But I'd like to try to bring someone in here. Now, I can only bring 1 or 2 people in at a time because my equipment can't handle, too much stuff. Try to post this. So, please click on the donate link so that I can upgrade here and have an easier time of my situation. And I think you guys know that I'll use it to generate the content. Yeah, and I want your feedback in the comments section too, guys. Where do you think I'm going wrong? Okay, where do you think I'm messing up? Like, am I going too far with these stories? Understand I can't do news right now because I can't even bring in the content. Am I rambling too much? Uh-oh, having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. I don't know if you guys are even hearing me now. Yeah. Public Wi-Fi goes in and out. According to this, I'm still connected, but when I try to post the comment, I'm not connected. Wait a minute, is Whiskey here? Yeah, so then I started producing a lot of content, and made some friends, and Whiskey was one of them. A lot of you guys, were my friends back in the time. Yeah, okay, I got High Whiskey up there on the screen, so you guys can see, and I am still connected. Now, let's try to... Thank you, One Festac, for getting the donate link back up there. Let's see. Oh, this looks like a good one from Jim. I had a woman complaining at me because I didn't donate through her to help a person jailed from January 6th. I was telling her I'm poor and I can't afford it. And it went all you must hate women, etc. Yeah, isn't that true? Yeah, and a lot of you guys are not in a position to donate to the Howard Dare channel, and that's perfectly cool. Go ahead and like the video, share the video. That would be a big, big deal. Tom says your content provokes, so keep being yourself, and you do you. Exactly. You know what I mean? And you do you, because there's nobody better in this world at being you than you. This is your destiny, to be you. And you're the best at it. And, we all are, and we get shamed. Okay, coming in good. Whiskey's Path is here. Now, something must have happened to cause Whiskey to change his name from Whiskey Stills and Tumbleweeds to Whiskey's Path. I suspect YouTube was messing with him. Right? He had to build a new channel or something. Yeah, the squirrel. I have images of the squirrel in some of my videos, right? Because it was like, hey, it's a shout out to Whiskey. So yeah, I would come across pictures with squirrels doing crazy stuff, and boom, I just put them in the videos. Lots of little hidden references in the stuff I do. Even the videos that I put up now. Okay, look, I used to be a werewolf, but I'm okay now. Yeah, all kinds of little subtle references within my videos. Even the videos that I post, it's like I'll have a guy who's trying to use in-group shaming on me within, MGTOW here. It's like, Howard, how dare you post a gaming video? I thought you were real MGTOW, and I'll be like, and it's just one incident, right? Out of hundreds. But I, know that it's a serious one for that particular guy. So I'll come across a video on in-group shaming and, how men try to use, that sometimes. And it's a female tactic. And boom, I'll just say, okay, I'm posting this one, and maybe this one guy will hear it and be like, shit, that's right. That's what I'm doing, And it's the influence of the mother and stuff like that. I've been thinking about what causes some of our guys to, go libtard, to go femtard, and, engage in this, kind of gossipy, hateful, destructive, in-group bias behavior within MGTOW of all places. What causes it? And, I kind of figured it's the mother. It's the mother influence is too strong. There's no father in the houses. There's no masculine influence. And this is one of the fundamental principles of MGTOW, reinstilling the male values and the male principles back into the men and the boys, okay? Exposing female nature. This is the heart of MGTOW. This is the origin of MGTOW. Go over to the MGTOW Mirror Project, and he's got a page on the origins of MGTOW, how the guys got together, Mr. White, Mr. Blue, Mr. Red, and they said, let's do this. And it's not about, all these rules and all this philosophy and who's MGTOW and who's not. It's nothing like that. It's like, look, the men need help, Let's teach men to reclaim, their birthright, their inheritance. And let's expose what's happening here because it's destroying them and it's destroying our future. And even if we can't save any of that, we can at least help the man find himself and have a good life. That's the origins of MGTOW. It's not any one given content producer's stuff. That's not what it is. You know, so anything you have to contribute, bring it. We need it. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, that's a good one, Glenn. We're putting that one up. Glenn says, I got to wait for it to show up on my screen. I'm going to as soon as it shows up on my screen, I'll go, okay, the nature of humans is that we are programmable. Exactly. Okay. Our brains are so big that we have to determine what software we run. We're not stupid little animals. We're not insects who know how to build the hive and just follow our instincts. We're not beavers who build dams. Okay. We have this giant programmable machine in our heads. But here's the thing. Unless you choose to program it, you're going to go on to default mode. And if you go on to default mode, they're going to be able to exploit the hell out of you. Human intelligence, logic, reason, ration, the thinking ape, it's an act of conscious volition. You have to choose to do it. If you just go with your feelings, you've just turned your back on, 80% of what makes the human beings great. It's like a bird ripping off his own wings so that it can play around with pigs. Don't do this to yourself. Don't follow the herd. Now, sometimes the herd is smart, and I've been talking about this. This is why we need to build our own platform. There's great intelligence within the group, but not when you turn it towards just getting views and just getting attention and like buttons. Like I said, replace the like button with a truth button. And then what would you have? You would have this social worldwide platform where we were judging the truth of what people said, the validity, the value of what people said. So the stuff that was good and useful would get promoted. Is that what happens now? No, it's not. It's the stuff that's entertaining, that's diverting, that makes you feel good, that appeals to your feelings. That's what gets promoted. So 5% of the producers have 95% of the influence, and this destroys the intelligence capability of the group. As I've said recently, you let 100 people guess the weight of an ox, and they'll get it within a pound, okay? But if one or two people that are like the mayor, right, or the most, the richest person there, makes a guess that's way off course, then everybody else makes their guess to fall a little bit more in line with them, and it skews the whole process. And this is why Reddit would shut down the likes and the dislikes on the posts, until there was like 1,000 of them, so that you could get an accurate representation of what the people really thought. But that's not what we have. We have a popularity contest. And is that the best that we can do? And you can understand why a corporation would do it. They want advertisement. They want views. They want attention. But is that the best that we can do? No, it's not. It's not. So this is important stuff. Yeah, I do want to check that out. Tara Baspence says, check out how to identify mind control in my playlist. Humans are programmable, for sure. This is exactly right. I've recently been studying neuro-linguistic programming, okay? NLP, where it's taking the best techniques of psychotherapy and psychoanalysis and just breaking them down into simple processes that anybody can understand and apply to their own life. And you are programmable. So if you've got something that makes you very nervous, I don't know, maybe like approach anxiety, okay? Talking to a woman. Actually, that should make you nervous because you can go to jail. You're able, so all these feelings come up, maybe like when you're in small spaces, okay? All these feelings come up. You are able, with the human mind, to envision that situation and then to envision a situation where you feel good and you feel comfortable, and then to replace those feelings of discomfort and nervousness with those feelings associated with the other behavior. You are programmable. And you are being programmed. It's just you're being programmed to your own disadvantage. Right? So learn, understand. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, I will check out those videos. Yeah, because that seems like, really, really good. Here's my friend Whiskey, who says, for 6 years, I've been trying to offer MGTOW some solutions and methods of moving towards beyond red pill rage. That's why I've been shadow banned for 5 years. My content goes beyond entertainment. Yeah, I agree, Whiskey. I recognize that, in you. You weren't just indulging, the hatred and the feelings, which, appeals, and it's easier. Like, you'll get more views if you do that. But it's not right. It's not a decent or noble or virtuous thing to do. Like, if that's what you're doing, you're actually going to have to shut off a part of your own consciousness that's aware of your behavior and not let yourself be bothered by your own behavior. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, isn't that what propaganda is? No, it's not. What if you're trying to do the right thing? What if you're trying to do the thing that will help the people, and now you're employing the methods of propaganda to get it done? So it is the sword of heaven, okay? Swords and weapons are bad. They hurt people. It's a bad thing. And this applies to everything. These are bad things. But if they are used to help people, to protect people, to defend people, this instrument of ill omen becomes the sword of heaven. Now it becomes a good thing. So it's how you use these tools, okay? Social media is a tool to influence the mind and opinions of the world around you. You can do it to get attention, to get views, to get likes. You can do it to give people peace and comfort and knowledge so that they can have a good life. So there you go. I wish I could express that better. I wish I could express all of this stuff so much better. Yeah. Yeah, go and sub to Whiskey's Paths channel too, right? Because I think you're going to find some very useful stuff in there. I bought a really nice katana sword, says Glenn. Yeah, I collected them as well. I didn't have anything that was really great. You know what I mean? I had I had a nice wooden bouquet, and I had some nice ceremonial stuff without an edge on it. I had some cheaper stainless steel stuff that had an edge on it, but I did not have, a real handcrafted, hand-forged, certified Japanese sword. I did not. I was kind of saving up to get to there. Maybe I'll get back there someday. Michael says TikTok is a great service to men as it reveals female nature in all its ingloriousness. Okay, yeah, there's some truth in that. But what if, the content producer is just cashing in on it? What if he doesn't care about that at all? What if he cares about the fact that he knows that the men are attracted to it, and that's the only real reason why he's putting it up, and he has nothing else to offer to it except to say, yeah, man, check that out, man, they're bad. Okay, it's not enough. TikTok is Chinese spyware. Make sure you have protection. Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you, what TikTok is from my point of view right now. It's a cheap place to get attention, and I really shouldn't care, where I have to go to get the attention, because the cause that I'm applying it to is a noble, virtuous cause. So, there's another way to look at it as well. Now, let's try to post that link to the chat here, to the stream here. And if you guys want, you can try and come in. I don't know that I can pull it off, but I'll try. Like I said, I want to know what brought you guys to MGTOW. I want to know what's going wrong with the Howard Dare channel, what I can do to improve things. Here is the link to the stream. It'll be here in a second. Posting. I just hit the chat button. See if I can't get somebody in here. I'm working on it. Processing. Buffering. I'm sorry, guys. And there it is. Wait a minute. Now it says having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. It's not letting me post the link to the stream in the chat. Damn. Is it posted at the beginning of the chat? I don't know. It's all good, Howard. Thank you, Vicious. Yes, it is working. Okay. Here we go. Going over to this screen. I'm still here. Oh my gosh. Invite the guest. Wait a minute. Do that again. Okay, invite guest to broadcast studio. Send this link to your guest emails. Well, I've already done that part. I've already shared the link. Now I just got to get you into the stream. Which that should, I saw the option kind of flash up there for a second. But then that screen went away. Guests. Clicking on the guest. No, now it wants to open up in a new tab. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. We're almost there. Add to stream. Come
hey,
on,
there you go. You got
Add
me.
to stream.
I'm here.
Yeah. Nope. Didn't do it. I pressed it. Didn't do it.
Well, I'm here.
Hey, One Fast Dak. I can hear
Hey,
you.
brother, how you doing?
Can you hear me okay?
Cool. Yeah, definitely hear you 100%, man.
Excellent. Outstanding. I'm stepping up in the world. Oh, and there you are on the screen. Thanks for stopping by, Dak. I really appreciate it. How do you think the stream is going? You know,
really excellent, man. Excellent. Very good. Very good.
Very good. You know, because I'm just babbling, you know, this subjective bull, because I really can't bring in, you know, like news stories or anything like that, or any videos or anything like that. But I will. I will be stepping it up to that. How's it going over there on your channel? I'll bet you feel a lot better now that you can post again.
Yeah, I do. It was a long week. It was a long week. Yeah, definitely sucks when Susan throws you in the clink. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
You know, that's what you get for speaking the truth, right?
Exactly. That's what you get for exercising free speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It goes against their narrative. It goes against their interests. So it's like, well, that's bad. That's, you know, fake news. It's like, no, I just merely disagreed with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, we were talking about the thumbs down, you know, being hidden kind of thing. Yeah, they hide the thumbs down. I don't know why, but they do. So, but you said you saw some thumbs down, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I saw one or two of them, but they've gone away. They disappeared.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, you know, so it doesn't give us the feedback that we need, you know, to kind of like shape our content and to move the content on the platform towards stuff that is actually useful towards people. Like I said, if it was a truth button, right, it would really make a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. It sure would. Definitely would. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So are you closer to getting some new equipment yet, or soon?
Soon. I've ordered myself an older laptop. Now, let me tell you what I've ordered. I only spent $200. Thank you guys for donating. Click the PayPal donation link. It'll help me do some other stuff. And what I got was an HP older 2015, and I'm curious if any of you guys know what this is, a ZBook 15 G2. Any of you guys know what that is? I'm going to have to wait for that because it's not a regular laptop.
No. Well, it sounds capable.
Well, like I said, it's 7 years old, but it's not a regular laptop at all. It is a mobile workstation with an i7 processor coming in, I think, at about 2.87 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. The GPU is the NVIDIA Quadro K1100, which only has 2 gigabytes of video RAM, but that should be enough just for basic editing and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the workstation that they use on the International Space Station.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and it's only $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Good deal.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Definitely. That's all I use. I just have this laptop I'm on right now is about 7 or 8 years old. It works. It does the job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yeah, especially
when you can't afford $1,000, you know, next best thing.
Exactly. It's exactly right. No, I was able to get it on eBay, and I did a best offer situation. I love bartering. You know, this is a male skill that I think we've lost.
Yeah.
I love hustling. You know, like he says, I want 250, and I say I'll give you 180, and then he says, no, give me 220, and then I say, look, I'll give you 2, and that's it. You know, and he says, okay.
Yeah,
you consider.
Sorry, as men, we've kind of lost that barter in us, you know.
Exactly. It's great for a man. The men love it, and the women hate it.
Oh yeah.
I remember a car commercial where they said, you know, when you come to our car, you don't have to haggle and barter for the price. The price you see on the window is the price you get, and it's like, well, what the hell good is that? I want a price that's lower, that's on the window.
Yeah, definitely. And the women, if you barter with the women, they're instantly insulted right away.
Exactly. And they're intimidated and they're offended and they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can't handle that at all.
No, they sure can't, you know. And it's being bred out of the men, you know, it's being conditioned out of the men. So now the men don't want to do it either, but it feels good, like, you know, not giving somebody the price they want and coming to an agreement. It's a wonderful feeling.
Definitely.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, I just want to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was, you know, just wondering what's going on over there in Canada right now, what Justin Trudeau is doing, what's going on with the trucker situation, what's going on with, you know, whether or not you're going to be able to get this guy out of office, if that's what you want.
Yeah, well, that's what we want. But what's happening now is, of course, the police have, you know, multiplied in numbers. So now they're pushing the protesters back, I think 3 feet at a time. They push a little bit, then they spray a bunch of pepper spray. Then they push a bunch more, and they're just trying to get them out of the city kind of thing. But at that rate, it's going to take years. So I don't know. They have a couple of those funny guns there that, I don't know, I guess send out weird sound signals or something that make people run or something. So they'll probably deploy that next. So we'll see. We're watching it. But yeah, it lit off this morning. So, but just more and more people keep showing up, and you know, the police right now are outnumbered probably 100 to 1. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure the army will probably be called in next, I'm sure.
So wow, we've got to get some of that. We've got to get some of that footage, and, you know, play it on a loop in the background of a live stream while talking about the subject and related subjects. You know, the police pushing the crowd, using the pepper spray. But I'm afraid that YouTube might, you know, come down on that and, you know, then restrict the channel.
Yeah, actually, not really, Howard. Our brother goes by MGTV. He's streaming it right now, and he's commenting on it. Yeah, he does that pretty good, actually. One of our MGTOW brothers, MGTV. So he's streaming it because he lives in Ottawa, actually. So he's streaming it and commenting on it. So yeah, I've been watching him most of the morning when this thing went off. So
right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's worthy of our attention. This is the overreach of the governments of a gynocentric, feminized government pushing around on the freedoms of, you know, independent, freedom-loving men. And, you know, there's some women there too. I'm sure there are, right? There's got to be some women truckers in that situation. Yes?
Yep, there are. Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep. Yep, there are.
This is why, I say that, don't shun the women entirely. You know what I mean? They are useful, in this whole situation that we're dealing with. It's not men, it's good men against a corrupt system, and that just happens to have seduced most of the women.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm pretty impressed with the women at the protests. I mean, they've been, making meals and keeping the truckers fed and alive and everything. So, yeah, hats off to them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure some of them, are involved in the planning and, the implementation of the strategies and things like that, and keeping the people motivated and stuff like that. I'm sure, I mean? Like, I'm sure they're right there up at the upper leadership levels as well.
Yeah. What was sad is one of the organizers of this whole thing, one of the three, all three of them were arrested yesterday. The third one was a woman, and they arrested her. And yeah, she actually before she got arrested, she put out a really, really good video, just saying stay strong and I'm going to take what's coming. And so yeah, quite a trooper. But they arrested all three organizers. They're gone.
That's part of the practice. That's part of the procedure. When the movements start building up and gaining momentum, you go after the organizers and, you arrest them, you shut them down. There's a great story about a guy in Russia who was speaking out against Putin a while back, and he created a giant social media platform. I forget what it's called. But it was like the third or fourth largest social media platform in the world, and they couldn't shut it down. And eventually, they came after him, Putin's, police, and he had to skip out. And then the company was bought out, and he was forced to sell his remaining share, like 28%, which gave him control, in the company. And it ended up just getting taken over by like a state-run, arm of Putin. So now he owns that social media platform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just follow the money, I guess.
Yeah. Now, did you watch the Super Bowl? I mean, do the Canadians watch, the Super Bowl down there?
Yeah, we definitely do. Personally, I missed it. I didn't watch it, unfortunately. I should have. I wanted to, but I didn't. But yeah, no, us Canadians, there's a lot of Super Bowl fans up here. Huge.
Do you know who the main sponsor of the Super Bowl was? The main advertiser? Who?
Pfizer?
No, well, probably behind the scenes. No, This is the upfront public image, brought to you by... You want to take a wild guess? Other than, pharmaceuticals? I mean, a crazy, outside of this world, you would never believe it guess.
Maybe a tampon manufacturer?
No.
I don't know. You got me.
I'll tell you who it was. It was YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Shit. Wow. Damn.
That's right.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Who could have guessed that in a million years? Of course it's YouTube. Of course it is.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Wow. Yeah.
So, that's how powerful the reach is. That's how important the message is. That's what's at stake here. The minds and the hearts of basically the world. And that's what we're, that's the content that you're producing, Dak. That's what you're doing it for. You're seeing that. You're saying, oh my gosh, this is going to become a media conglomerate. This is going to become a hive mind that's all based on popularity, and likes. And we're going to be losing something. And even if we don't have the words to express it, most of us sense it. It's like, okay, this is, there's an evil empire aspect going on here. And we got to do something about it. And that was who's sponsoring the Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're pretty hard censored here on YouTube, definitely. But it's not bad if you just stick to our MGTOW content as close as we can, and just as long as we don't go off and talk about the situation here with the coup and and the medical procedure. As long as you don't talk about, anything to do with that, you'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you understand that if they did it any other way than that, they would be martyring the message and glorifying the message. In other words, when there's a message that's opposed to you, you don't shut it down. What you do is you marginalize it, and then you look at crazy aspects of it. This is modern day propaganda. Because if you say you're not allowed to say that here, if you bring in the military, and the military, really uses its force, you expose yourself as a hypocrite to the general principles that you're pretending, to respect.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got quite, we've got quite the wrestling match going on here. You know what I mean? And there's some really complex holds going on here. And there's some really complex things going on behind the scenes that we might not necessarily be aware of. As to why one particular video gets thousands of likes and another one, only gets a few dozen.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. When you get shut down, how you get shut down.
Yeah. How long? Yeah, definitely. Well.
No, I love your videos. Okay. Yeah, I think your videos are great.
Yeah, thanks.
But I want you to put, I want you to put a subscribe button though on them. So people, when they watch those videos, they'll subscribe to you. I want you a little message there,
Okay.
Subscribe to the One Fast Doc channel. Help me get the message out.
I'll be honest with you, Howard. I am such a shitty video editor. I don't know what I'm doing. That's why my shorts, they're so raw. They're not, edited in any way. And I make it myself. That none of it's off TikTok. None of my shorts are off TikTok ever.
Right.
They're my own. They're my own that I find on the internet and all over YouTube. But what I should do is I know I need to do that. I'm just getting lazy lately. Usually I sit down in my garage and do a good sit down video and read. I like to read a lot of comments, from the brothers that I got on on the videos that YouTube have taken down, like that I only see in YouTube studios that don't make it to the video that we see. So I like to take those comments and, read them out. And then, at the end of my video, do a shout out to, one of the channels, one of the brothers that's making content. So I got to start, getting busy, quit being lazy and start doing that again for sure. The shorts kind of make you lazy,
Yeah.
They do.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
MGTOW gives a sense of community to the men where they don't have a sense of community. They're isolated. We're alone, and they get to come here to MGTOW. They get to participate in something. They get to get some insight into something, and I think it's a really great and wonderful thing. Tell me something, Dak. Were you able to click on the link that was in the chat? Is that what brought you in here?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it was perfect, Howard. Yep. Perfect. You put the link in, I think 3 times successfly.
Okay.
The link was there at the beginning, and then the middle, and then right when I saw it, right when you put it in. So you're getting her done. You put in your PayPal link, that made it in. Everything made it in great.
Oh, great. I should start getting a lot of donations here any second.
Yeah, I hope
it's okay.
so.
It's okay, everybody.
Well, anytime anytime you have a live, I'm, usually there. I set the reminder. I make it a point to be there, at your live for I can, show your PayPal and, show some channels of the guys in the chat and stuff like that have content.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Hey, my pleasure, man. I make it a point to try to make it to every single one of yours. There will probably be some I won't be there because I'm either out at the lake or whatever, but I make it a point to make sure I'm here. So, I like, channels like this, like right now, for instance, I think Hammer's streaming right now, but, whatever, I'm here. So,
he's got a nice production going on over there.
Yeah, no, and it's all good. And hey, man, I respect him and everything, totally 100%. But
absolutely,
I'm just I'm a guy who kind of likes the smaller channels. You know, I like to
Me too.
join the smaller channels and stuff like that. And but not to say I hope yours goes big. I really do. I really do. I hope yours goes gigantic. I'm
Yeah. Well, enough time.
Yeah, it's time, but it will, Howard. I guarantee you. I mean, you know, it was such an awesome thing when you showed up on MGTOW Values live that night. You know, everybody just sort of, wow. You know, it was an epic thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a great place to show up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about going on to, the larger streams. I don't need to do that. That's not where I'm not about just doing that. And I'm sorry I missed your 6-hour stream the other night.
No problem.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty epic.
Well, we were having so much fun, Howard, and there was such good men in the chat. I didn't even see the 6 hours go by. I looked up at about the 5-hour mark, and I couldn't believe it. So, you get kind of on a go. I don't like to go that long. I don't think I will again, but it was my first live back from being in jail, and we had so many great callers and everything. So I couldn't shut it down. I had to go right to the bitter end, and it was great. And it hasn't gotten taken down yet, or I don't think it will. We didn't talk about anything, that'll upset YouTube. So happy to say that it's still up. I don't think anybody will go want to watch 6 hours. I don't blame them if they don't.
Well, you check your watch time, in the analytics. Check your watch time. You might be surprised.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I've been going on here for an hour and a half now, so I think I am going to end this stream so that hopefully people will watch it all the way through. Thank you so much, Dak, for coming on.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm honored. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll do this again. Once I get some better equipment, it'll actually work out really well because, we're just getting by here right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Sounds good, Howard. Thank you very much.
Okay, you take care, Dak. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. This went on about an hour, about 45 minutes longer than I had planned, but that's how it is. I like being here with you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it too. I know some of you do. And I appreciate that, really. And I think that we've got some important things to talk about and important things to discuss that'll make a big difference in some people's lives. Ask yourself this question. Would you rather have 1,000 people watch your thing and be like, that was funny, that was good? Or would you rather have 100 people watch it and save maybe, 5 or 10 of those people's lives? I would rather save 5 or 10 of those lives. Okay? It doesn't matter, how big it is. You could, like I said, you could be 1,000 and you still haven't reached, 0.000000001% of the population. Okay, so it's not really a question of how big it is. It's a question of how helpful and how effective it is. Okay, that's the goal, to make a positive difference in the world. And that's a worthy goal. Whereas if the other goal, just to be popular, come on. That's great. That's great. And I got no problem with it, but there's better things to do, So I appreciate you all being here. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Leave me a comment telling me what brought you to MGTOW. Leave me a comment telling me what kind of feedback you can give me concerning, making this a better place for MGTOW, for the men, improving my technique and stuff like that. And if you're in a position, please go ahead and click on my, PayPal donation link and help out the Howard Dare channel so that I can get a nicer microphone and maybe even not be outdoors. That would be nice. And I'll keep producing content and I'll keep putting stuff out there. I'm sure I've got another, few videos for you today. So let me know what you think about all this. Like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. And join me again, Howard Dare. Oh, incidentally, I'll be bringing some of you guys into the, chats, into the live streams. We'll be doing that. We'll be playing videos. We'll be able to put pictures up on the screen and stuff like that. So, let me know what you think about it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, probably later today, as I hope to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.